Market analytics, guys, we're back. We got an interesting situation here on the euro versus the pound. I actually decided to pull the trigger here probably a bit late. I actually kind of missed the train. I missed the first boarding call, let's just say this, when price was breaking above 87.10, even though I had my eyes on this one and I was watching very closely. I was basically prepared to pull the trigger, and price was breaking 87.10 here, which was my official trigger. That was the last imminent resistance, if you will. But I was busy on other fronts, so I actually kind of let that one go. And at this point, I feel that there might be a second boarding call, and I want to show you why I think it's still an interesting opportunity, even though we're probably made about 40% of the potential move already done here. So let me take you to the big picture, right? Everything starts from the monthly chart. And if you track back all the way to the middle of 2016, you can see this formation starting to form, right? So we've had so far 3 legs. This is the monthly chart. Mind you, every single leg here represents the major trend. But here's the interesting part. Price, when it made it to the lower section and beautifully touched base here on the mid-low key level 85.32, it was, evidently unable to break through, right? Unable to break through that 85.31. Instead, we've seen a pretty massive turnaround. This suggests that price is going to be able to come back to the lower section, at least touching base on the first mid-high key level 90.41, right? So I'm going to address this particular key level as my primary price target. Now, I should also say this, it's not a particularly strong setup, right? The fact of the matter is that because price did not take the previous low on the way down, take a look, right? It is more of a shaky ground to work with. Usually we like to take moves after price had evidently taken the previous high or the previous low, depends on where we're trading. But basically at this point it's more of a risky type of adventure. Having said that, I do believe that it's more likely that price will complete the move to 90.41. Just take that under consideration. Now I'm going to take you back again to the daily chart, which is why this is the reason I think this is kind of a second boarding call, probably the last one for this particular move. So I told you about the first breakout above 87.10, right? That was the first strong indication that price is heading north. At some point, just about a week ago, price was able to break another important resistance element, the 200 daily moving average. And you can actually see, let's zoom in a little bit here so we can see exactly what happens. Quite impressive, I have to say. Take a look what happened here at this point. Price was trying to break through that 200 daily moving average and it failed. It just left a bit of a spike there and it closed the day right on the spot of the moving average. The next day, however, price actually started to trade on the downside, kind of showing us that it was actually it was successful on breaking through that 200 day moving average, because now it was starting to use that moving average as a support rather as a resistance, and we've seen price kind of spiking that 200 daily moving average and bouncing strongly to the upside. So it looks like this is the moment of the breakout, right? And it seems to me like this 200 daily moving average might be an important pivotal point, the point of no return. So since price was spending its time over the last few days just trading slightly sideways, still relatively close to the breakout point on that 200 day moving average. So I think we're still good to go. Taking quite a significant move all the way to 90.41. So we're talking about more than 200 pip, about 215 pip, which is pretty respectable when you talk about the euro pound, right? So it's important that price will remain above 200 daily moving average, even though I should say that even if price will begin a downside correction, it might actually just take a technical move to 87.10 just to retest that level from above, find some support here, and reignite that move on the upside. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but I will use that 200-day moving average as protective element. We're starting with stop loss level here at 86.30. We'll have to come back and follow up on this one. That's about it for today, guys. That's about it for this week. We'll see you next Monday.